Hey everybody, it's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. Today's video is about Norwegian Cruise Lines. They want to get bigger by getting smaller. Let's talk about that. Thanks, by the way, for subscribing to Traveling with Bruce. Thank you everybody for giving my videos thumbs ups. Those are really important. Thank you very much. Join me and my TWB family. We're going on our first ever group cruise to Coco Cay. Perfect day at Coco Cay. We're going to St. Thomas. We're going to be on the Harmony of the Seas next year, December 2020. All the details are down below. Amber and Travel is handling everything, and we've got videos describing everything. Come and join us. Now, here is what has been touted as the future of Norwegian. Norwegian has been telling us they're going to build these ships here, the Leonardo class. They've just finished building these ships. This is the Bliss. The NCL Bliss, big success, huge go-kart track at the back. The Bliss has over 4,200 passengers, has been in Seattle working the Alaska routes, working out of Los Angeles, going through the Panama Canal. Now they've just released the Norwegian Encore, a sister ship to the Bliss, and the Joy. It also has a huge go-kart at sea. But now they're talking, or have been for a couple of years now, about bringing out this ship, the Leonardo class, holding 3,300 passengers, not 4,200, to replace, ultimately, these ships. These are the oldest ships in Norwegian's fleet. We've got the Norwegian Sky here. We've got the Norwegian Spirit. There's also some ships from the 2000 era, the Norwegian Sun and the Star. These ships are holding anywhere from 1,900 to about 2,100 passengers. And logic would dictate that they would replace these ships with the Leonardo class ships. And so the story was 4 Leonardo ships were ordered, then 2 more were optioned, and we're now told 6 are coming. But then something happened last month. This ship right here, the Norwegian Spirit, the oldest ship in the fleet, they've announced a $100 million refurbishment to this ship, which means they're not going to replace it for at least 10 years, which begs the question, does that mean that this ship is dead, the Leonardo class? Is it not coming out after all? It's a unique design, but it didn't have go-karts. It didn't have a lot of features that these newer ships had that just released. What's the deal with the Leonardo class? I can understand one thing. These ships right here, these older ships, put $100 million into these and you can spiff them up real nice, and it only takes you about a month or 2 to do it. $400 million refurbishes 4 ships. One Leonardo ship, $850 million. One of these ships, like the Bliss or the Encore, $1.1 billion per ship. When you build a ship of this size and at this cost, you have to generate $150 to $200 a night from your room rates to pay for it. With the Leonardo class ships, $850 million each for 3,300 passengers, and they were still going to be burning diesel fuel. What are they thinking? I can't understand why a new ship that's going to be around until 2050 would still be burning diesel when you've got LNG powered ships coming out from other cruise lines. These old engines in the old ships, they can modify these and burn them, get them to burn a lot cleaner. They can also, like I said, with $100 million, modify the old decks here, really spruce up the old ships. And these ships, even with $100 million sunk into them, they only have to generate about $125 a night to pay the way. The old restaurants can be spruced up and jazzed up so that the specialty dining game continues at Norwegian. We all know Norwegian is the king of nickel and diming us for all the extras, but they always attract us with a low fare to get us on board. With these larger, newer ships, I don't know if that's going to work. The other thing, too, with the older ships, they'll be allowed into the smaller ports. Venice, Marseille, Santorini, a number of European ports are bucking at the big ships. They don't want the giant 5,000 passenger ships in their ports. They want the smaller ships to handle the crowds. And of course, the older vessels have a certain charm that resonates with a lot of travelers. Take a look at this picture here. This is Venice. You can see up there's the ports. Venice right now is having a battle with cruise lines. I cannot see large, even Leonardo class ships being welcomed in here. they're going to have to stick around with the smaller ships. And that's why I think the Norwegian Star, the Sun, the others are going to be welcome in Marseille. Even with their diesel-burning engines, they'll convert these ships to ship-to-shore power so they can shut off the engines when they're in port. We're going to have to see how this all plays out. Like I said, 6 Leonardo-class ships were supposed to start coming out in 2022. Haven't heard a thing about the Leonardo ships now for over 9 months. It's been dead silence. No new artist renditions have been made available. No features, no specifics other than a generic, we're going to bring it out, going to home port one of them in Southampton, they said 6-8 months ago. It's been quiet ever since. We'll have to see if Norwegian decides to change these ships and maybe make them LNG powered, redesign them entirely, or wait 5 or 10 years before they bring out any new ships. In the meantime, we'll keep following it. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you liked the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. See you later, everybody. Bye for now.